Hey guys, welcome to the Heart of David. Hope you guys are all doing well wherever you are. Today I want to discuss probably a bunch of things, but I want to make a main topic here. Again, I'm not well, and it's because of school and all the stresses and stuff, and it's brought about severe kidney colic, so I am agitated and irritable in these, so I'm not myself in these videos. I like letting people know that because it's very uncomfortable. Irritating, make your mind race. Just all the colic in the abdomen is just brutal. Denominations. I guess that'll be the title. Denominations is something that splits people up, is it not? I would never dissuade anyone from going back in church history and learning all the different creeds and church history. Read first century church history to see what they were really doing. If you read the Bible and you read Paul's epistles, you stick with the Bible and you learn the doctrines. We're in a time right now when to be accepted, to get viewers on a video, enough viewers that will actually listen to you, you had to have gone to school for like a Master of Divinity or a Master of something, right? Is that not the way it is right now? And if you study the Bible yourself and you look into the exegesis of everything you can that you don't understand, that is difficult, I think that's good enough. There are so many dynamics to the Bible. The Bible is endless. The Bible is the Bible is like God's algorithm. You cannot. That's the only way I can say it. It's a maze, and there's doors that become unlocked and locked, right? And it's all depending. There are people who have gone to school and studied all their lives. Like, take for instance, let's just say John MacArthur. He believes in Calvinism. He believes in things that that go against the Bible. But yet he spent his entire life. He's probably I don't know, that man is extremely intelligent in history and doctrines and but what does that really mean to you and I? I think that you could develop proper doctrines, proper belief systems, the truth of the Bible. I think you could find it in about 3 to 5 years. Who knows, maybe some people 2, depending if if you're following the right people and you're being led the right way. So just give me a break. I'm going to get out of the picture for a second. Just give me a sec. I got a pace, man. When I'm like this, when I get to move, it helps me rethink. When I'm like this and let's say I'm doing a lot of work, I'm studying and I'm doing a test or something, I suffer with acute abdominal pain, and on a chronic basis. I don't know what the name for that is. I can feel so horrible, but But yet, when I go for a kidney stone, less for a kidney stone, but a lot of other things, when you go for a walk, you start to feel better. I made a video quite some time ago. It may have been a year and a half ago, maybe 2 years ago. This channel is over 2 years. I think it's just over 2 years old. And what I said was, I think in the title was, and I wouldn't do this here. Not that I care what people think at all. I'm sensitive I'm sensitive to my brothers and sisters who are honestly caring about me. And it's a tough thing when it's on video and, you can't discuss things with people in a comments section. Is that a true ministry? In any case, it's at least a partial ministry. My title was, I am non-denominational. And whether or not this person was just trying to agitate me, as there are people who do that, Pharisees, right? They compared me to, just because I was saying I'm not with a denomination, they compared me, what was it, to the Pharisee who said, I do this and this and this. I've followed the law, I've given tithes, I've done all this. But look at this sinner over here, right? I would tend to think that person was more trying to agitate me. What I was saying is true for today. I am not with a denomination. And I don't believe there should be. It's just called Christianity. Are you a Christian? It was first said in Antioch, right? Are you a Christian or not? Once you start separating yourself, you're separating. The last thing you want to do is separate, because what did Jesus say, right? I can't think well right now. A house divided against itself will fall. So, that was in relation to how can a devil cast out a devil, right? When Jesus was being accused of being Beelzebub or whatever. When you have this, it's very hard to catch your breath, man. There's nothing wrong with being like that, and there's nothing wrong with. I think it's truly unfortunate that, and I can understand people's view where they would rather follow someone who has consistent and proper Bible teaching, right? You can watch one video of a person or be wherever it is, and suddenly, they take a complete right or left turn, right, from a doctrine. For instance, I believe my doctrines are correct, but when I say things like I believe Donald Trump and Elon Musk are the literal Antichrist, people may be like, hey, listen, those are just my personal beliefs of the times we're in and the things that I see. That's not a doctrine, that's just a belief on who, you and I are looking for. And they do fit it, right? You can't deny that, they do fit. So there's nothing wrong with it. And my own personal reasoning for being this way is because of all the lies. It's hard to look back all the way into my childhood. You know what? I was an altar boy at around 8, 9 years old. I hated doing it. I was baptized in a school that I actually went to. I think, yeah, my brother was in the auditorium at the time. He was about 10 years older than me. In a Catholic school. I was baptized in front of, in any case, you know that means nothing because you make a decision, right, yourself. But baptism doesn't save us. In any case, I was baptized about 2.5 years ago. 2 years ago? 2.5 years ago. The Catholic system, father, priests, confessions, substantiation, transubstantiation, bringing Christ down from heaven every time. Can you imagine that? That's what the host is. We were supposed to break bread, right? With people. Not bring Jesus Christ down from heaven. There were so many false things in the Catholic system. And they've become evident at this point in time. It's unfortunate because there's so many, right? And how many of those actually believe in Jesus Christ? How many hold to the doctrines of Paul? You know, so many people will say, you know, I believe the things that Jesus said, which is called cherry picking, and they leave out half the Bible of Paul's epistles. Paul's epistles were a revelation from Jesus Christ, which a lot of people don't accept. But if you look in the book of Acts, the apostles themselves gave them the right hand of fellowship to go to the Gentiles. And this was promised in the scriptures, was it not? That there would be a light to the Gentiles? How could there be a light to the Gentiles? Think about it. How could there be a light to the Gentiles if there was nobody to preach to them? That was Paul who planted all the churches, and Barnabas and Mark and all those guys. I'm going to pace again here. I got to think of the next thing I'm going to say. So in terms of like denominations, the Catholic system, I started to investigate when about 5 years ago, when I was starting to, you know, I moved out here on my own. I'd been here for almost 2 years, and it's probably longer than that, but I started to investigate as well as my pain disorders, of which God was graceful enough to give me my diagnosis of them. You know, I was looking for more meaning in my life. I believed in God. I started to look, and He set me on a straight path, thank God. And then I started to look and see all the lies of the Catholic system. You know the rest. You know, I went into Seventh-day Adventism. I didn't become one, but I found all the purity in it. But there's a difference between like purity and good people and what is the truth. Calvinism, I started to adopt, you know, like, you know, faith alone, Bible, scripture alone, those types of things. These things can be very confusing. Just give me a second here. That's probably something I need to answer. Just give me a sec. Hello?
Good afternoon, Dave. How are you? Bob's Department.
Hey, good.
Good. You're on now, right? Obviously you are.
Yeah. I'm actually doing it now. Yeah. Yeah, sounds good. Good. I don't know what to say to him other than I'm doing a video. Waiting for my colic meds. Just give me a second here. Sorry, that kind of threw me off. And he's coming up here, so what was I going to talk about? So it's so easy to be deceived by different denominations. And so, like I said, I started to look into Seventh-day Adventism. I started to look into a lot of their prophecies, which seemed to fit. But I knew in my heart, with each and every one of them, like I could take a piece here, a piece there, and you know why I was taking a piece here and a piece there? That's not cherry picking. That was me finding out and grabbing a truth here, a truth there. And then eventually I said to myself, I can't do this, because if I adhere, like I was, now listen to this. I met and was talking with a friend who was a Jehovah's Witness, okay? Yeah, I might laugh at this, right? Catholicism, okay, Jehovah's Witness, Seventh-day Adventist, looking into Calvinism. That's a mix for a disaster, for doctrinal disaster and belief. And at one point I had the pastor doing lessons with me every week. This is like at, pretty much maybe 1 year into my journey or so. And, we're going through all the stuff, and I knew all the stuff he was teaching me already, and it was the truth. But I started to feel that I had to adhere. I had to adhere to something. And I knew some of the things they believed in, like, so for instance, a Seventh-day Adventist, Ellen White. There was no way that I was ever going to admit that there was something special to this woman, even though she says, I never wanted any attention, any of this stuff. They're talking about things like channeling and doing this. To me, it just sounded something like witchcraft. To me, it did, and there was no way I could follow it. And I wasn't going to read that book. I wasn't going to read her book. So in any case, I think you know how I feel. So for someone to call me, like what the comparison of, I'm better than this other person, this other sinner who can't even look up to heaven, right? That's just the very opposite. That's the very opposite of what I'm trying to explain. I'm in a search for truth. I want to find the truth. So I just wanted to look. I looked up a piece here. I didn't really look it over a lot, just to give you an idea here. Just give me a sec. Different belief systems. I don't want to get into any depth, but let's just see here. If you've studied the evolution of Christianity, you may already know that the 7 major Christian denominations, Anglican, Episcopal are horrific, right? Episcopal, Assembly of God, Baptist, Lutheran, Methodist, Presbyterian, and Roman Catholic. All the various types of Christianity share some basic beliefs. They differ on many issues. Read on. Okay, just give me a second. I gotta get my meds.
How you doing? Oh, how you doing? Good. How was the weekend?
Yeah.
Good.
I'm on video. Yeah. Yeah. Take care. Thank you. So I gotta wash my hands now. Nice delivery, guys. I don't like making videos when I know, like I gotta wait for something and do something. That just messes up my videos. So basics for doctrine. Christian denominations differ in what they use for their basis of their doctrines and beliefs. The biggest split is between Catholicism and the denominations that have roots in Protestant Reformation. We know about that, right? Here are the 7 major types of Christianity based on the religion. So listen, Anglican and Episcopal, the Scriptures, and the Gospels and Church Fathers. So, wait here. I don't know what the Assembly of God is. I've never heard of that. The Bible only. Baptist, the Bible only. Lutheran, the Bible only. Methodist, the Bible only. Presbyterian, the Bible and Confession of Faith. Roman Catholic, the Bible, Church Fathers, Popes, and Bishops. No, thank you. To understand what different types of Christians believe, you can start by studying ancient creeds. I did. I don't remember them all. And confessions, which spell out the denominations, major beliefs, and a short summary. The Apostles' Creed and the Nicene Creed both date back to the 4th century. Below are the creeds and confessions of the major types of Christianity. Anglican and Episcopal, the Apostles and the Nicene Creed. Assembly of God, Statement of Fundamental Truths. I've never looked into that. Baptist generally avoids creeds or confessions. That's me. If I had to pick one, it would be Baptist, and there would be no Calvinism in it. That might so they generally avoid creeds or confessions that might compromise commitment to the Scriptures as the sole rule of faith. That is the very basis. That is the antithesis of what I'm talking about. It's the Bible, the Bible, the Bible. Whenever someone says something to you, well, the Bible says that's what that's what we should say. In any case, I don't want to go into this, but I would have to go into too much. So what I want to say is there's nothing wrong with not wanting to be in a denomination, but also don't use that as an excuse to not be around people, right? For me, it's harder because of the things that I suffer with. Not to say that I'm not around people who believe in God, because I do. When I go out and work, I do. I talk to a lot of people who believe in God, and we talk about it. But don't forego meeting together, because you know what it's like when you get together with someone and you both agree. It's really nice, right? It's refreshing. Don't do it for reasons of your own personal comfort, is what I mean. It's always good for people to get together, and I do believe that's what God wants. But there are certain people, there are good reasons why they're not, or don't feel the need to be around people and just to have a relationship with God, because that is good enough. We are not defined by walls and groups, right? And in fact, I would argue that that tends to cause a lot of trouble. Give me another sec here. I'm trying to eat as I go along as well. I saw something. I'll just say that in a sec. many of these people who are on YouTube and have ministries, many of them are wolves in sheep's clothing. And I saw one that I hadn't seen in this way before. There are many people who I used to subscribe to because some of their videos were good. And then, I would unsubscribe when I would find out just how awful they are. One thing that bothers me, and I've described this many times, maybe I'll describe it again, is a person should not ever make money off the gospel. Now, if you're preaching and you're doing it because, you're doing it as a job or something, I don't think I'm going to really judge you. But if you're using it for your bank account, that's a different thing. Jesus told us to beware of false prophets who inwardly are ravenous wolves. They're horrible people because their mind is on money. How can you mix God and money, God and mammon, right? You can't do the two. Because either you're going to love the one and hate the other. So what if that's suddenly removed for you, that money? Are you going to have a passion for God? So I'm going to say exactly what got me yesterday. I'm just like, this is the sign of the end. This is a sign of the end. These types of people, where they make the house of God a place of merchandise. You know what I'm talking about. And the people, you can unsub to me all day long. I don't care. All I want to do is tell the truth of God. God is not money. If you need money, ask Him for it. So it was Ruslan. I was subscribed to him at one time when I was a time before. I'm like, all the people who just keep talking about Hollywood and America, boom, you're gone. Like, I don't want to hear this anymore. I couldn't believe the stuff that I was hearing. The things that he was saying in a video, you might have seen it out there. I'm going to leave that. I'm going to leave that in the description box if I can find it. I'm sure I can. And I know I can. It's just whether or not I remember. He's like, it's not really about the subscribers so much. I have 2 and 500. He's got about 1 million subscribers in all. He's got 2 channels. And Ruslan KD or S, I forget what it is. And the other one is God Bless God Studios. He's blessing himself. It's more about how I can monetize. How can I uniquely monetize my viewers? He doesn't care, man. He doesn't care. His Patreon, 7,400 subscribers times 7,400 subscribers times $7 a month by 12 months, $621,000. Anyways, I saw videos of him saying, I want to make this a business. This is the disgust that's out there. This is why people don't have a personal relationship with Jesus Christ. And on that day, he's going to call you a Laodicean. You put your merchandise and sales and all this in your biblical channel. You put it in another channel, do it in something else. Do a side channel. I can judge within the body of Christ and say that it's wrong. I have the right to do so. And you can't judge me because I'm not doing the same. But you're using people who follow Christ and have a good heart, right? You're doing that. You're using them. God sees the world as naked. He sees everything. In any case, Yeah, that got me yesterday. I'm just, oh man. I would recommend watching a certain YouTube ministry, and he's got a ministry, he's got a church and all that, and I've been watching it for quite some time. He's proper in his doctrine. I would say at least 99%. And his name is Pastor Adam Fannin. I've been watching him for about a year, and he is Baptist without any Calvinism in it. And anyways, his it's called the Law of Liberty. I wouldn't watch anything else as far as learning doctrines and stuff like that. But the things he's teaching already, I know. But there's a lot of things he teaches that I didn't know as well. Things in the Bible you wouldn't know or possibly understand sometimes. In any case, I just wanted to say one thing before I go, because I got to get right back to my work. I had to shorten in my university. It's unfortunate. I don't know why they do this. On the first week of your module, each module is 8 weeks long, and at the very beginning, the first week, they give you one less day. Same amount of work, one less day. I don't know why they do that. And then everything's screwed up that first day. Remember I told you? And I started to develop seizure auras. I'm not kidding you. Seizure auras and kidney colic in the least. It's likely a kidney stone. Because of the amount of stress. And a lot of people question, and this isn't true. You can go to university. I would never tell anyone not to go to university because of the love of God. But so that's another thing I'm going to talk about, right? There's a lot of people out there saying that it's just good enough with you and God. Sure, you're not going to learn. You're never going to get anywhere. It depends what you take. Are you going into a profession that's going to help people? I mean, in any case, but I understand why they say that, because it can be stressful. It can be very stressful. But I'm doing it with multiple intractable pain disorders, so yeah, then you finish this week and bam, you're right into a next one. Yeah. I'm gonna take on one more subject here and then I'm gonna go. Just give me and let me pace for another second. This is you may agree or disagree with this. Are we here to sacrifice ourselves? Just an honest question. True born-again believers, are we here to sacrifice ourselves? Now, we go through a lot of, it's unavoidable. How many people do you know? How many people do you know personally who are born again Christians? That means they've turned over a new leaf. They've put their full faith in God. And through their life did not go through trials and tribulations. I mean, there's all sorts of severities, there's all sorts of different types. And for me, it was a lot of pain and emotional pain. And it makes me wonder, because you just have to look through testimonies of born again Christians, the ones that are born again and believe God and are truly saved, that they went down a very tough road. A lot do. And it makes me wonder, are we here to sacrifice ourselves? Some of us, so that we can give a good testimony. That's pretty much all I wanted to say. You can answer that in the comment section. Yeah, I got to get going here, so I just want to say, and I can't remember everyone's name, but I pray for the people who do watch my channel. I know there's some faithful viewers out there. There's Elijah, Annette. I know there's a John out there. I know there's Blue Roses Forever. There's the one with the picture of the lamb. It's so hard to think like this. What I wanted to say is thanks for watching my videos. I do appreciate you watching them. I do feel like you're like a family. I do. I never say that, but it's true. You know, like despite all the things I'm going through physically, and it's worse now because of school. This will go away. That, you know, everything that I say, the very crux of everything is trying to find back that childlike faith, trying to be like a child again, not like a child, not like that, not behaviorally, but the way that you view life with God. And I try to gain back that innocence and love. Isn't that hard? Especially if it's both for me. It's both physical and mental pain that I had gone through. Both of those things can dull your reaction to love. PTSD, CPTSD, trauma of that does anything to somebody. Both of those can dull your love towards God, and that's why you have to put your faith in God and hope for a better world. And so I make this video today, and the reason I make it is to try to help point people in the right direction, find the direction the first time. It's never going to happen that way, probably. We all face a tough journey in finding the truth, but I do believe if you are genuinely searching for God, you know, like you're searching through the scriptures to find the truth, I believe you will find it. If you have alternate ideas that are not of God, then that's up to God what he does, you know. In any case, guys, have a good day, and God bless. There's a lot happening in the world, but guess what? It's best not to focus on those things. It's best not to focus on those things, although it can be very tough to know what the things that are going on.